everybody. On today's Madge Unmuted, we will talk about gaslighting, and we'll tell you about what Fitz and I did on our little vacation. It wasn't fun. On today's Madge Unmuted. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to another episode of Madge Unmuted. I am your hostess, Madge Madigan. How are you?
What you got there, Madge?
Well,
looks like you're wearing a bra on the outside of your shirt.
I got a gun holster in the shoot up place.
Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew. I can't lift it.
Oh.
I got a sling like taters.
I had my ass in one of those a little while ago.
Oh, mine's in one every day. Hi, I'm Madge Madigan.
Hi,
here,
Madge.
Back. Hi. I'm back from rotator cuff surgery. We'll talk about that in just a minute. I want to tell you who else is here. Fitz. Hi, Fitz.
How are you?
Ow, that hurt. That was stupid.
We're at the age now where we do a podcast about our ailments.
Okay.
What's bothering you today? Well, let me tell you, I coughed up some phlegm that you wouldn't believe.
We're going to have an organ recital. We're going to talk about all our failing organs. No, I'm kidding. Fitz with Rock Fox Studios, the purveyor of this fine establishment. If you need any, if you want to record a podcast, even if you don't live in Rochester.
That's right.
We could do all this remote stuff.
That's right.
Anything you want, he'll record it.
That's right.
For a fee.
For fee or for free?
For a fee.
For a fee. Okay, so good. How long ago did you get that surgery?
Jesus Christ. Well, tomorrow.
It's been like a month, right?
Tomorrow will be 4 weeks. We haven't recorded anything since the beginning of April.
April
5th, April 7th.
Yeah,
so
it's been crazy.
Yeah, because I had rotator cuff surgery, and tomorrow will be 4 weeks, and I'm still in a lot of freaking pain.
That sucks.
I had this other one done 5 years ago, and I swear to God, by now I was like up and around, but like a month from tomorrow, I will be 57. So I'm guessing this takes a little longer now. Thank you.
1 month countdown.
Yes, exactly, for the Madge extravaganza.
Is there going to be an extravaganza?
Every day is an extravaganza for me.
I didn't say an adventure. I said an extravaganza.
I give myself an extravaganza every day, and it's not a euphemism.
What was the cause of your issue with your rotator cuff? Are you a major league pitcher?
No, I was a swimmer my whole life. That's what my doctor said. It's swimmers and baseball pitchers. Yeah, I was a competitive swimmer from the age of 7 till through I stopped my freshman year of college.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, but then it's always been my workout, my exercise too.
Yeah.
So, but you had a procedure yourself.
Yes, and you can still see the cotton in my ear.
Oh my God!
My left
swimmer's ear.
It's not swimmer's ear, but interestingly enough, it felt like swimmer's ear, which is why I went and had it looked at, and then I found out what the deal was. I was having problems with my ear; always felt like it was clogged. It was always like, you know, when you go flying and then you come down, and it's like, oh, the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And I always be like, is it sciences? What's going on here? And so I went to the otolaryngologist.
Ooh, I love that word. Ear, nose, and throat guy.
ENT.
Person.
Guy. Good guy. The eustachian tube didn't work properly, so the pressure was reversed in my ear. So it sucked my eardrum in to the middle ear, and then the eardrum caught itself as it sheds skin cells, caught them in the eardrum, and then they just grew and became a cyst and took over the whole kit and caboodle.
God.
And then they ended up having to take away one of my ear bones. They're called the ossicles, the three bones. Ear bone.
It's called the what?
They're called the ossicles, the three bones in your ear. And one of them was
the ice cream truck. Sorry.
You're such an ossicle. Oh, when I got out of the
Been there, done it.
of the hospital or the surgery center, just the swelling on the side of my head, it was like, it was ridiculous.
Oh my God.
It looked like I was an MMA fighter, but not a very good one, and one that only got hit in the left side of his head.
Did you get cauliflower ear?
Yeah, that's what it was like.
The kids used to say, or no, the moms used to say.
For the wrestlers, you're going to get cauliflower ear.
And they would say, you're going to be on, well, this back in the days of old-fashioned phones with cords, house phones, and, you'd be hanging on the phone as a teenager. You're going to get cauliflower ear being on that phone so much.
Yeah, I never heard of that one.
Oh,
I mean, I've
really?
heard of cauliflower ear, but not when it comes to being on the phone.
Oh, that's just shit my mom made
Yeah.
up because there were 6 of us kids.
Right, and they had to come up with something.
Yeah, there was no call waiting. There was no whatever. So
do you remember that? How freaking annoying was it when you get a busy signal? And that happens every once in a while. I'll call someplace and I'll get a busy signal. I'll be like, what the hell is that?
Exactly. Oh my God, are we being invaded? And then you had to
So obnoxious.
keep dialing, keep dialing. And then there was no answering machines or voicemail. And so
Just ring and ring and ring. You just sit there and let it ring for like 4 hours.
Exactly. I know someone's going to pick it up soon. But then it was some, you'd hear this, it would ring and ring and ring. And then you'd hear silence. The person just picked it up and hung up.
Did you ever do prank calls? Or crank calls?
No, I never did that. I was the recipient.
Oh.
I had a couple boys in high school call and say dirty things, and that was really mean.
Oh. We just would call and hang up, really. It was stupid bullshit.
Was it in the middle of the night?
But we used to call...
Okay,
No.
good, because I would have fucking kicked
There
your
was...
ass.
This is so terrible. I was probably 9.
Oh.
And we were we'd go through the phone book and do the close your eyes and point, and then you pick that number and you call the person.
Yeah.
And there was a woman named Hedwig that we just thought that was the funniest name ever, so we kept calling Hedwig. And Hedwig would answer, she'd go, hello. And we would go, Hedwig, click.
We had where I grew up in Dunkirk, I kid you not, we had a church called St. Hedwig's.
Yeah.
And it was a Polish church.
Yeah.
They had Polish mass. So you hung up on that poor Polish lady. Yeah. I don't know if they do that anymore, but
well, now it's kind of hard. You could crank call people back then and no one would know where the hell the call's coming from.
Exactly.
Now it's like they just call you back. Why'd you do that? I was when I was a kid, I was like 10 years old or whatever, I had this crush on this girl in my class and I got her number. Not from her. Honestly,
we had a phone book. You could get anybody's
yeah.
number.
I think that's what it was. I think I found out where she lived. I knew where she lived, and I found the number in the phone book. And I would call, and I would be too nervous to ask for her, so I would just hang up when the parents would call.
Oh, you know how many people did that?
So we're better.
We are better.
We're
now.
on the road to health and wellness.
Speaking of that, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I feel called to speak on it because I have a bad problem with it. I've had a problem with depression and anxiety my whole life. I kind of finally figured it out when I was like just at the dawn of when people just started, when Prozac all of a sudden was a thing. So I think it was in the late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And I was seeing a therapist for other things in my marriage, but I started talking about things that when I was a kid, and I was like, I used to be absolutely, what's the word? Uncontrollably hysterical when thunderstorms would happen.
Really?
Yeah, because I just thought the lightning was gonna strike the house and we're gonna die. So anyway, I was like, holy shit, yeah, okay, I've had anxiety my whole life. So I've been very diligent about that. I'm getting my mental health worked on.
The one
to
thing
the garage. They put it up
Jack
on the lift. Madge spark plugs are out again.
Haven't seen one of them in years. Didn't think any of these were still out on the road.
Fuck you.
I'm with you. Not so much on the anxiety part, but the depression.
Yeah.
I had some bouts of depression, and I'm not ashamed to say I'm medicated. I've been medicated for quite some time now.
Me too.
And interestingly enough, is now I think I am at my best mental health that I've been in. I think
Excellent.
ever.
Excellent.
Yeah, and
I am so happy. One hand clapping. No, that's excellent. I made a TikTok about this. Be kind. Because look at me. I'm smiling and making jokes, but I sometimes am dying inside.
yeah, and there's a lot of people like
There's
that.
a lot of people like that.
And a lot of times it's the people that you would least expect.
Yep.
They're the ones that are like, hey, that guy's got his shit together.
Exactly.
But he doesn't.
I wish I was that
He just
happy.
has shit.
Be kind.
Yeah, kindness is king.
It is.
And it's
Don't be a douchebag.
But you know what? There's so many freaking douchebags in the world.
There are.
And it's like, and a lot of times I wonder. I'm like, why? Why are you such an asshole? Like, what?
I said
What's the
this
point?
before you, like, either on social media, okay, listen, I'm gonna move in on this. Before you go making mean comments or saying mean things to people in person, whatever, check yourself, because the reason you want to do that has more to do with you than it does the person that you're giving shit to.
Amen.
Think about that. Check yourself.
Check
Why do
yourself.
you feel the need to do that?
Let's do it again. Close up. Check yourself. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Check yourself.
Nice. That's a
The more you know.
that's a promo right there. Check yourself.
Oh, just stop being a douche.
I'm not being a douche.
No, not you. People in general.
Yeah.
Which leads me to another thing, mental health. Some people try and manufacture other people's mental health issues. I'm going to talk about a little thing that's now becoming a popular term that everyone is using, gaslighting. Do you know what gaslighting is, Fitz?
That's when someone tries to convince you that you're crazy when you see, like, you have these problems and they try to turn it around on you, right?
Yep. So
like, no, you're just paranoid. None of this is happening. And they try to convince the other person that they're, like pretty much everything Trump ever said in any of his speeches.
Or on any
It's a very popular, and it's not new by any means.
No,
it's a very popular way of controlling people.
So I used to use the term back in the 80s and 90s, more the 90s, when I was with someone that was actively gaslighting me.
Was the term used back then?
Yes, because I looked this. I mean, I knew it was from a movie long ago. And I looked it up. The term is derived from the title of a 1938 British stage play, Gaslight, which was subsequently produced as a film, Gaslight, in the UK and then in the United States in 1944. Those dramas vividly, if somewhat simplistically, depicted some of the basic elements of the technique, attempting to convince the victim of the truth of something intuitively bizarre or outrageous by forcefully insisting on it or by marshaling superficial evidence, flatly denying that one has said or done something that one has obviously said had not done one with the obviously somebody, or vice versa, and dismissing the victim's contrary perceptions or feelings as invalid or pathological, blah 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 blah. So they flat out lie about shit. Something that they just said, they'll say, "I never said that. You think that. You're the crazy one."
Right.
So that was my marriage. And then I had another relationship that happened in, and you think you're going crazy.
Yeah. You start to doubt yourself. You start to doubt your sanity. You start to wonder what your reality really is. And maybe, when you get to the point where you're like, holy crap, maybe I'm the problem.
Yeah.
Um, You know, that's
Absolutely. That comes right away. And the, it depends on the person. They can be so convincing. Like there's some of these people, some of these politicians now that they'll be shown video of them saying something.
oh yeah, they say, oh, that's out of context.
Or a tweet they put. No, I don't remember that. It's out of context. That whole, but that Marjorie Taylor Greene hearing, she did that the entire time. Yeah. So that shit is pathological. So if anyone is trying to do that to you, trust your gut that you know that you're not wrong. Because and some people will do it to the extreme where, not just, oh, I didn't say that, whatever. It's to the extreme that no, and that's kind of what happened in this movie. I think it drove the woman insane. I think that's how it ended. Spoiler alert. Yeah, the woman ended up because they go so far as to think that you're insane, you're terrible, you're possessive, you're whatever they're doing, And so the reason I brought it up is I've been seeing it a lot lately on like either real life or television shows. I know. Reality show. There's a show, Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this character, Drew, and her husband is Ralph. And they were new last season, but they're back this season. This guy is just a pathological narcissist and gaslights her constantly. And it breaks my heart. It's some people are like he vanished for 4 days and was like, I don't need to tell you what, where I'm going. You're just being possessive. I mean, you shouldn't. You should never look at my phone. You're the one that's the
Yeah.
And
turn it around. Turn it around.
Yeah, really bad. And like you want to tell the woman. I hope she figured it out because some people are really, really good at it. And it's mostly a man thing because it tends to be a more aggressive behavior. And it's a dominant behavior because you have to be dominant to just keep asserting yourself that this is the truth.
Well, I had that problem in my relationship. My wife would do that often. And we
really,
and we've come to terms with it. She's come to terms with it, and has completely changed herself in a lot of ways. But it took me basically trying to get out of the marriage for her to go, holy shit, you're not like she literally. If you ask her, she'll tell you this. She literally treated me so poorly for the first part of our marriage that. It's amazing we're still together. And now we're stronger than ever because she finally came around to figure out what, how she was acting. I figured out how I was enabling her to act that way. And also, some of the thing, I was not saying I was perfect by any means. I had my own demons that I had to kill. But it's surreal. It's surreal when it happens because you're like, how?
Oh yeah.
How did this happen? It's
mine
bizarre.
Was particularly cruel. Kids don't listen to this right now. I don't know, they probably.
My wife was not cruel. I just want to get that out there.
Mine was cruel. He was having an affair the entire time I was pregnant with our third child. And I had receipts, as they say now, which means proof, and actual literal receipts.
I was like, what is that?
Okay. Yeah. And I knew her. She was a coworker. And she had like babysat our kids. Yeah.
Not the babysitter.
So like I could see them together. His phone bill, I was a stay-at-home mom. I paid the bills. I saw all the bills. I'd see numerous to the same number. And then I would see the same number on when you used to have the caller ID display on the home phone.
Yeah.
You know, so they used to play the game like they would communicate out in the open to give, instead of sneaking, to give like, we're just friends. Do you know what I mean? So they did the different tactic of hiding in plain sight, I guess. So, but like I'd see all there were phone calls to her in the middle of the night, and when he's away on business trips, just phone calls. Then I would see, the Visa bill for lingerie that I didn't receive from Victoria's Secret. There were hotel rooms that I didn't stay in. So, and I would be like, just tell me. No, you're crazy. You're fat. You're ugly. You're the worst wife in the world. You're whatever. Yeah. And I would end up in the fetal position in the corner crying and throwing up. And here I am, big as a house. So yeah.
That's like,
that it was cruel. That's the cruelty.
That's like when you hear about the woman who's battling cancer and her husband. Oh wait, who was that? That was
Newt Gingrich. The other one recently.
Edwards.
Oh right, John Edwards.
His wife
Newt
was
Gingrich
like,
too.
oh my God, deathly ill, battling cancer, and he's off.
Look, I get it. I'm not fun right now. I'm in bed battling cancer.
But that's not a reason.
And if you need to go, no, I know. But I'm like, I don't know. I'm way too understanding, and I give people a pass on things. I guess it's more to me like, be honest. Just be honest.
Yeah, but that's,
I know that doesn't
next
work.
to impossible for some people. Plus,
I know.
Plus being honest would have to make them admit that they're being a douchebag. That they're doing something wrong that they know is wrong, that they know they wouldn't want done to them.
Right, exactly. And they project it on you. Then all of a sudden, then they make it they're the victim. Like, oh, well, you're probably cheating on me. They turn that shit around.
Well, you're so emotionally closed off. How else am I going to get,
Oh,
I need to go find someone who cares about me.
I was too much of a mom. I was too mommy.
Aren't you pregnant?
I was pregnant.
Can't get more of a mom than that.
And had 2 toddlers. I had a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I was pregnant. And I was a stay-at-home mom, and he wouldn't come home till late. And when he would come home, he would say, "Well, you just stay at home all day. I worked hard, so I'm not gonna do anything." And I would be like, "Oh my, can I have a break? Can I go to the grocery store by myself? Can you watch the kids?" And it was like, "No, I work too hard." So, and then, my God, here I am, singing Wheels on the Bus all goddamn day. And like, and then, when your mom, with little kids, there's always holding, cuddling, and crying and whatever. And yeah, sometimes at the end of the day, like, I can't have another human being touch me. I'm sorry. But yeah, and that's the hardest part of a marriage, having little kids.
Absolutely.
That puts a lot of stress. But just fucking tell me. I've had other relationships that, just they make up all kinds of shit, and the people involved try and, turn it around and make me the bad guy, and I'm like, I don't even know anything about this.
Yeah, it's bad.
I just can't. Just be honest. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I guess some people just aren't programmed that way.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to be honest sometimes, depending on what it is.
Like what? Like if someone's like, "Oh, I recorded this song. Oh, I want you to hear my song," and then you listen and you're like, "This is the most fucking awful thing I ever heard."
No, I'm not talking about that.
I know. So,
but
like if you went and stooped somebody else.
Yes. It would be very hard for people to.
Well, I I know it
to
is.
come out and say, "Oh, this is what I did," because unless
obviously,
they're
I
looking
know.
for an out and they want to end the marriage and that's how they do it.
True.
But most people, they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to still have their married life and see their
Have a little
commitments through.
excitement. Yeah. Yeah, and we had another show about this before, about cheating. And lame excuses for cheating and who's to blame, which is obvious that every situation is different. So
I was roller skating, I fell down, and then this woman fell on top of my penis.
I fell on his dick.
And I got off and I fell on again. 7 or 8 times.
But I'm at the age where we're all human. Shit happens.
Yeah, I know. When you get past 50, it's kind of like fucking just
Look,
if this is what you want to do, then do it, and let's move on, because we don't have a hell of a lot of time left on this earth, and I don't want to waste it fucking around with you.
right. Or if you're not attracted to me anymore, okay, we'll be pals and we'll both go look for other things.
Kelly and I, we laugh about the fact that we're so stuck with each other that it's not even funny.
What?
But it's like neither one of us can ever imagine not having a life without the other one. You know what I mean? So it's like, no, I can't.
Know what?
Even when we almost split up, she called me every day and talked to me for hours and was pissed at me and didn't want me around, but couldn't stop talking to me.
Yeah.
Because we love each other, but we didn't like each other at the time, but we still love each other. And when it came down, deep down, it was like, all right, well, we need to fix this. And if we can't fix it, fine, but we got to try.
Right. But when you're trying to fix it, you have to be honest.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's,
if you're trying to fix it and you're still going around doing shit.
Yeah, no,
just.
That's lip service.
Yeah.
It's maybe not a good term to use.
You're not. You're apparently not equipped to be in a committed relationship. So,
and that's that's another show completely, because I would hate to have to be dating right now. Like, I would hate, because I wouldn't want to go out. We don't go out. I don't do anything. Yeah. We're quite happy with hanging out in our own house and doing our own thing. And it was like, can I have to oh man, I gotta go out. I gotta go to a bar.
Yeah.
I don't even drink anymore. It just wouldn't work.
Yeah. And then the online dating, I mean, I haven't done it in almost 7 years now.
Dude, it sucks.
Yeah. And it was bad enough back then. Like, oh my God.
Do you remember in the 90s they had the Quest line?
Yes. I remember the commercials.
I was a Quest junkie.
Were you?
Oh God, I was a Quest junkie. I spent so much money on that stupid chat line, and I met so many women on that chat line.
Really?
Yeah.
Was this in Florida?
Yeah, it was in Florida. I was traveling, a lot with the cruise line. And so I just, all of my friends had moved away or got married. I was a very lonely kid. I was 25 years old. I was lonely.
Back then with those, you didn't know what the person looked like, right?
Right. And that was a really difficult thing for me to kind of process, right? Because I would have this incredible conversation with these girls, right? And I'd be like, we have the same sense of humor, we're getting all the references. It is just clicking. And then I go and meet her. I'm like, oh, fuck. And I go, shit, I'm a bad person, because, I know you're not. I'm old enough to know that that's not the case, because, they say, well, if you judge the person just on their looks, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you can have a great friendship with somebody and click and be great hanging out and all that kind of stuff. But when you look at them, you're like, nah, we ain't doing that.
But it's also not just necessarily looks. It's an all-encompassing chemistry.
Yeah, no, that's true. I've had chemistry with ugly people.
I have too. Obviously, people have had it with me. But like, just to get like meta for a minute, when there is energy in this world, and there's energy from another place, and a lot of shit is ruled by that. And I mean, it's like I was talking to John about this the other day. Like, people, I sense things, and whatever, people think I'm full of shit, and I'm like, now wait a minute, how can it be that I'm up in the house way on the hill, and I see a bird way down in the water, and all of a sudden they flinch and they go away. They sense that someone is there.
Right.
Right? So it's a thing. It's energy is a real thing. You can always say, it just felt like someone was there. I felt like someone was watching me. It's a real fucking thing. So anyway, people have energy, and you meet people that your energy doesn't match. And just an aside, that was another thing with dating that was so hard for me. I used to take everything personally. Like, we went on a date and then they didn't call me, back. Oh, what did I do? I'm a loser. I'm terrible. They're so mean, blah, 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 blah. And it finally, I don't know, took me to mature to be like, everyone is not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah.
And they did nothing wrong. That's what dating is. You get to know people, and then you get to a point, okay, do I want to continue this or do I not?
I was always also the guy who I wanted to get married. I always wanted to get married. Like, I wanted to find my one person. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times it just ended up being, all right, well, I guess we're just going to do this tonight. But I scared a lot of women off because I would get too serious too soon. And it wasn't like I was like, weird about it. I
know that I'm bringing up another TV show, 90 Day Fiance, The Single Life, Big Ed. I know. People know he is so goddamn pushy. Like, on the second date, he's like, I would like to get married. What do you think of marriage? Do you think I'm marriage material? Blah, 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 blah. And I watched an episode last night, and he was with this woman who he was down in Mexico, and she was, Mexican, only spoke Spanish. Well, she spoke a little bit. And she was just like, she, didn't always say the right words, but she's like, she wanted to say, like, stop pushing, you're being your, whatever, you're being too much. And she finally goes, silencio.
Silencio.
Just like, silence. I need silence right now. I can't do this. But that was a thing. I mean, you can, dude, slow the fuck down. I know some people are anxious and they want to make sure. And there's also people, you get to a certain point. I know, like, women in their 30s, they got the biological clock ticking, and you get on a date and you're like, I don't want to waste time going on a second date with you and starting to like you if you're somebody that doesn't want kids, because I want kids. That's a tough one too, because you're like looking for a specific thing rather than having it really, really organically. Yeah. But then again, I guess that you can have that with anything in life, that you really like someone, but you have different goals.
Yeah.
That's
really a kick in the pants too.
Yeah.
Because then you start thinking, well, how important is this really to me? And what are the odds of me finding someone that I click with so well?
Right. And that's each couple has to decide.
Everything is great. Everything is amazing. She likes to murder people on Wednesdays.
No, I mean, I've met people that, like, it's because their lifestyle is completely different. One person is a total dyed-in-the-wool New Yorker. I love New York. I got to stay here. And the other person's like, I want to go to L.A. And this other person's like, I can't fucking stand California. There's no way I want to go there. And they broke up.
That's like me. I can't believe I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe I'm in this state and in Rochester, and I love it here. Mm-hmm. Because back in the day, I would not have. I was like, I ain't leaving the fucking place. You know, I ain't going nowhere. And then,
Life
2001, I just said, screw it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to move up to Rochester.
There's
Sight unseen.
there's no formula. There's no exact formula. Just you gotta think. I do have to say, follow your gut with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I can't help
And
it. My gut's way out in front.
Me too.
Actually, I'm down like 25 pounds.
I was gonna say that. I didn't want to be rude because Fitz and I haven't seen each other in over a month.
Like a month, yeah.
And I wanted to walk in and be like, "Damn, Slim, what'd you get down?"
Yeah, Kelly and I we're both down about 20, 25 pounds, whatever.
Wow.
Do you want me to do news?
I was just gonna say, moving right along. Do you have any news today?
Why, yes, Madge, I do. A woman in Tennessee freaked out recently when she woke up to find a stranger in bed with her. Actually, It was a stranger's dog. Yeah, the stranger was a dog.
Oh.
It's a strange dog just somehow got in her house and laid down next to her, curled up.
That would scare the bejesus out of you.
Can you imagine waking up in the middle of the night and there's some big old dog licking his balls right on you? Anyway.
Better than a guy.
I guess so.
Strange guy sitting there doing it, I guess.
Wow. I mean, what is he? Is he part of like Cirque du Soleil or something? It's pretty good. You lick your own balls.
If you could.
You got huge balls or a long tongue?
Is that
I think
the end
that's
of the
it.
news?
That's all I got. That's all I
Okay.
got.
Great, thanks. We got some good guests coming up in a few weeks.
Oh, yeah?
So, yes.
Anyone you care to name now?
We got Todd Youngman.
Todd's coming on.
Yeah.
All right, Todd.
We have Diane.
Oh, Diane Chevron.
Yes, Diane Chevron. Probably have Christopher back. And I'm going to try and do a couple live shows. Well, they'll be recorded, but they'll be recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Right. There you go.
So I'll get more information about that soon. I didn't want to stand up there in a harness.
I'm excited.
Anyway, Fitz.
Yeah.
Rockvox Studios.
Rockvox.com. Legacy casts, audiobooks, voiceovers. If you want to get into voiceover work, I can help you put a demo together.
I keep forgetting to do that. Damn it. All right. I'll do that. And me, Madge Madigan. Please subscribe while you're here.
I tell you have a Patreon.
I do. Please join my Patreon if you truly enjoy this content. Because doing this thing ain't free. Patreon, pledge a level and, it'll help us out greatly if you enjoy the content. You'll also get some extra content. Check out the tiers that you want to contribute. Or if you just want to Venmo me,
Yeah.
Madge Madigan. It's like a virtual tip jar.
So
Anyway, Madge Madigan, give me money. Subscribe, rate, review, reuse, recycle, whatever. And join us next week on Madge Unmuted.
bye.
Bye-bye.